Hi, my name is Megan Bolin. I was born on July 1st, 1995 in Bremerton, Washington. I live with my mom, my stepdad, and my sister. As a kid, I spent every other weekend with my dad, my stepmom, and my other sister. Growing up, I've always loved video games. I've been playing video games since I was old enough to hold a controller. I would play console games with my family like Crash Bandicoot and Frogger. I think I preferred the company of fictional characters over real people. When I was about 8, I got my own Game Boy Advance, which was pretty much the best thing ever. My favorite Game Boy games were Zelda and Kirby. I played on my Game Boy during pretty much all my free time. When I couldn't play it, I would doodle my favorite game characters. When I was 11, I bought my very own Nintendo DS, which was even cooler because all the cool kids had a DS. Once again, I was a big fan of Zelda and Kirby, as well as just about every Mario game ever made. Even when I wasn't playing on a handheld, I would love to play games online. No matter what was going on in my life, I always found comfort in video games. When I was 15, I got my own laptop, and that changed how I looked at video games. When I started gaming on my laptop, I became very interested in the art that makes up a video game. How the characters looked, the landscape, colors, etc. became very important aspects of how I looked at a game. The game that caught my eye the most was Guild Wars. I really love the art in Guild Wars, as well as Guild Wars 2. I think that there was kind of a shift at some point in the video game industry, where graphics of a game became as important, if not more so, than the gameplay itself. So when games were released with more and more impressive graphics, this caught my attention. When I play a game like Guild Wars or Skyrim, sometimes I'll just stop what I'm doing and look around. When I say look around, I mean in the game. I would stop to look at all the textures and 3D objects and scenery that made the game look so good. Everything was very realistic, and this was fascinating. Most people don't play video games to appreciate the art, but I guess I've always been a little different. I would think to myself, I wish I could make something like this, but I never thought that I actually could. From freshman year to the beginning of senior year, I attended Timberline High School and took as many art classes as I could. After first quarter of senior year, I started going to Newmarket full-time. I take DigiPen, Media Communications, and Commercial Graphic Design. Graphic design gave me skills to be able to make art in a digital format, rather than just drawing as I had been doing before. On a computer, the possibilities of what I could create became endless. With infinite colors, there was no need for expensive art supplies, and I could create as much as I wanted. Around November, we had a guest speaker at Newmarket, a recruiter from DigiPen Institute of Technology. DigiPen is a really cool college that teaches people how to make video games. It was awesome. She talked about an art degree in digital arts and animation where I could learn how to make art for video games. I had never considered that as a career path, but after listening to her presentation, I knew that was what I wanted to do. As soon as I got home, I looked at the website and started looking for as much information as I could find. Right now, I'm in the process of applying at DigiPen, where I'm hoping to attend in the fall. I'm really excited about the degree and the school. It's really an amazing opportunity. The school has a very impressive employment rate, with many graduates going to work for big companies like Microsoft and Nintendo. So that's my plan. I'm going to get a degree from DigiPen, and then I'm going to work for a video game company. Microsoft would be cool. They have a lot of awesome perks for their employees. Or maybe I could work for ArenaNet, the makers of Guild Wars, where my interest in video game art really began. No matter where I end up working, I know that I'm going to have a great career doing something that I love.